Welcome to today's webinar. This is Sean McMeen with Vinnie Restoration Marketing, and today we're going to talk about your 2024 roofing contractor internet marketing roadmap. Let's go ahead and dive right into this real quick here. Let's number one, I just want to kind of cover what we're going to talk about today, which is a quick introduction, some common issues, our three-step process, what works in 2024, and we're going to talk about setting some goals and projects. You know, it's extremely important to set those goals and projects with everything. So before we get too much further in this, I want to give you a little backstory about me and how I got into the industry. My name, again, is Sean McMeen. I'm the founder of Vinnie, and we help roofing and damage restoration contractors all across the country generate more visibility and book more jobs online. And so I've been a homeowner in those situations where I've had hail damage and I've had roofing damage, had to have those things replaced, and had good experiences and negative experiences. And so, you know, at the end of the day, I was able to work with a lot of contractors because of that, and got into the industry because I had a passion for it, right? And so I want to take that passion and turn that into a situation where we can generate more business for you, right? And so we have been around since 2017, and I have over 17 years of experience in the marketing industry. Here's a picture of some of our team members here, and we've generated into the millions of dollars in restoration and roofing jobs for our clients, right? And so let's go ahead and talk about some of the resources that we have as well. We do have a podcast about restoration roofing secrets online, and I have a book that I wrote about for restoration contractors and roofing contractors on how to unlock more jobs online that we're going to give you a free copy of that if you stay until the end. Plus, we're going to give you some additional resources such as checklists and downloadable resources that will help you generate more jobs online, okay? And so if I could just get your attention to the end, please turn off your cell phones, turn off Facebook, give me 30 minutes here, and I promise you that it will be well worth your time, okay? My true goal here in 2024 is to help double the sales of 50 roofing contractors using internet marketing. And the goal of this webinar is to, whether I work with you directly or not, is to help you get more visibility online so that you can book more jobs and convert those jobs into business for your company, right? And so what we're going to do is dive into some of the common marketing issues that we see in the roofing industry. And, you know, those start with tons of competition in your area, high cost of generating and getting the phone to ring, up and down results on any given month, and no proven process for results. You know, and so these are some of the common problems we see in the roofing industry, and we really help our clients solve those. And I want to give you some key insights on how you can solve those for your roofing business as well. All right, so the harsh reality of things is that 10% of the companies out there are getting around 90% of the revenue and jobs, and that's because they have their strategy put in place. And 90% of the roofing companies have little to no marketing strategy. And this is really what's going to separate you from getting a job, getting that visibility, versus those companies that just don't have a strategy and they just do it ad hoc and they don't have a comprehensive strategy to get more business, right? And so my goal is to tell you what's working right now. And what we commonly see here is that these companies out there, some of them are out there paying per lead, and some of them honestly provide an amazing service, but nobody knows that you exist, right? And so what you want to be in that top right quadrant there is the best known company in your area, and that's the goal. So you don't have to always pay for leads, and you don't always just have to rely on referrals. You want a combination of both of those. So ultimately, you want to make sure you have a proven process that's going to not trade dollars, but actually if you put in $1, you're going to get $10, $20 back out of that from a comprehensive marketing strategy, right? And so what I'm going to do now is really talk about what works in 2024 from a free traffic standpoint and a paid ads standpoint in the roofing industry, okay? So let's go ahead and dive into that. Now, from a free traffic standpoint, that involves what I call your website, your Google ads, your Google Maps, YouTube, Bing, Apple, Yelp, and social media. Many of you guys have probably heard of these buckets, so to speak. And so we're going to dive into some specifics about those and what we focus on for the roofing industry in 2024. And then from a paid ad standpoint, you have Google Ads, you have Google LSA, and you have Facebook, right? And those are the three. Those are the three areas that we see the biggest on the paid ad side, but you do have Instagram, Bing, Yelp, and YouTube as well that will make an impact, right? And so really what you need to have is a comprehensive roofing contractor comprehensive marketing strategy between your website, your Google Maps, your Facebook ads, your Google ads, your YouTube, social media, reputation, and CRM. And really this is what we call is our comprehensive marketing system that we deploy that helps you elevate your brand and dominate your competition. Okay, and so we use this strategy on with all of our roofing contractors, and it works really, really well. That strategy involves two to three proven principles here. Okay, and that's about increasing your visibility, increasing your branding, and which ultimately is going to lead to more conversions and more money for your business. Okay, and so you want to ensure that you have visibility so that you have multiple fishing poles in the water, right? And so if you've ever gone fishing, on the left-hand side there, you see one fishing pole. How many fish are you going to catch at a time? One. If you have multiple fishing poles, you're ultimately going to catch more people that are looking for your services. And so that's why you need a comprehensive strategy, and so as we go ahead and dive into everything here, we're going to want to talk about visibility first, then we're going to dive into branding, and then into conversions, okay? And so we're going to go one by one here. Now, on the visibility aspect here, you want to make sure that you're showing up when people are looking for your services in the area, right? And you really have to have an online presence that's branded to your company and the services that you're providing in a specific area, right? So here's some examples. You want to make sure you have a lot of call to actions on your website, make it easy for them to contact you, generate it so that it's really mobile friendly and people can understand what services you provide, what location you provide those in, and provide helpful content, right? And so if you don't have a website already, or if you do, pull it up on mobile and make sure that it is mobile friendly. Make sure that the website, when you pull it up on your phone, you can actually know that people can contact you via your form on your website, or whether it's not just a contact form, but a button to actually call you. And so those are all important elements to make sure you have in place on your website. And if you do have those in place, you're going to get more leads for your business. As I said before, you want to have service pages for every service you provide. Roofing repair, roofing replacement, roofing installation. If you're providing additional service such as gutters and siding, those sorts of things, you want to have additional pages for all of those sort of aspects, right? And then you want to have a page for every location or town that you're servicing in your area, okay? So that's the hub of your online presence, which then links into your Google Maps profile. And so you can see here, this is a client of ours that has a solid Google Maps profile. And so you want to make sure you have all of the elements in place for that Google Maps profile so that they can have that comprehensive visibility online and that they can show between 1, 2, and 3. And that's typically how many spots are on the Google Maps side. And so if you can get that comprehensive strategy in place on Google Maps, you're going to have a lot of success in Google Maps. And I call it the Amazon effect, right? You want to make sure you have reviews on there because reviews are a star rating system, and who goes out onto Amazon to purchase a product without any stars? The same thing holds true for your roofing company. You need to have plenty of reviews associated with that profile, but you also need to be doing additional things such as generating photos. You need to have posts talking about your services and your locations and case studies of roof projects that you've done in a specific area, YouTube videos, and connect all of those into your social profiles online, okay? The other thing you want to make sure you do is you set up a Google Guaranteed profile. You want to have a Google Guaranteed profile with your contractor license there. You want to have your insurance verification set up, do your background check, and get a minimum of 3 to 5 reviews on there so that you can start showing up. You usually have to get more reviews than just 3 to 5, but at minimum you need to have 3 to 5 to get qualified. With Google Guaranteed, it's also called Google Local Services, you want to make sure that you set up all the details in that profile as you can, such as your website and your bio information and all the services you're providing, along with the locations and what kind of budget you're looking for on that. The next important component is you're making sure that you're listening to those phone calls within the system, and you're disputing ones, and you're marking the ones that are not qualified, where they call about a services you don't provide. You dispute those. The ones that are qualified, move them to a booking status and a completed status if you actually won the job. So that way you're giving information back to Google about the roofing call that you got, or gutters, or siding call that you got, right? You want to make sure you're doing ongoing optimizations, such as reviewing your services, making sure you're adding photos, making sure you're getting reviews onto those profiles. And if you do this, you're going to get a better ROI within this service. Okay, so Google Guaranteed absolutely works in your area. Reviews play a big part of this as well, so it goes into that review strategy. As far as Google Ads is still the king. Between Google Local Services and Google Ads is more the pay-per-click side of things. So you're going after specific terms that are related to roofing repair company, roofing repair services, and specific towards a specific location, right? And so when you set up these ads, you want to make sure you have a dedicated landing page. Do not send them to your home page. Do not send them to your normal website service page, but send them to a page that's set up to convert to accept a free quote, or for them to call you immediately and connect with you. And so when you put this in place, you want to have tracking in order to make sure you understand how many actual calls are coming from Google Ads and what keyword they're clicking on to get there. So if you don't have that in place right now, it's a very important aspect that you understand, that you have the tracking in place, that you have a dedicated number, and it's going to a dedicated landing page outside of your normal website, so that you can get a comprehensive understanding what Google Ads is getting you versus your website traffic is getting you. Okay. The next important element here is Facebook ads. Facebook ads are a very effective way to reach another demographic online within your area. So if there's a weather event that happened, hailstorms that happen, or any sort of thing like that, you can run those sort of Facebook ads to get people to fill out a contact form. There's ways to generate that contact form without the default settings on the user's profile, because a lot of times, if you've ever ran Facebook ads, some of those ads come in unqualified because the number's old or the email address is old. Well, why is that? Because maybe they set up their Google or their Facebook profile 10 years ago and their number never changed, or their email address is not an active email address. So we've got ways to combat that, okay? And then when those Facebook leads come in, basically what we're doing is getting that call to you immediately so that you can reach out to them and re-engage them along the process, right? And so you can always use Facebook ads as a branding play as well. So you're sending out traffic to the wider audience in your area, and you're saying, hey, we provide an amazing service. This is our company. This is our team, and it's a brand awareness campaign as well. So those are all effective ways on the Facebook ad side, but they don't work unless you have tracking in place and you're monitoring it. And that's what we put in place for our clients that we use. But if you run these yourself, make sure you have a dedicated phone number. Make sure you have tracking in place to understand how many leads are coming in from the Facebook ad side versus maps or pay-per-click. So that way you can calculate your return on investment. So those were all things about increasing your visibility, right? You want to increase the visibility, again, with your website, your Google Maps, your Google Guaranteed or Google Local Services, Google Paid Ads, and Facebook ads. And so once you increase that visibility, you also want to improve your branding, so you're not always paying for that traffic, right? And so you want to build a brand for your roofing company so that people recognize your trucks, recognize your logos or your signs, and all those sorts of things that you put into play, right? And so online perspective, you want to be building that reputation. I talked about the Amazon effect before, where you actually have reviews on your profile, but if you don't have enough 5-star reviews or enough reviews versus your competition, you're always going to struggle. You can shout from the rooftop saying we provide roofing services in a specific area, but if you don't have reputation to back that up, Google's only going to recommend you so many times, right? And so reputation is a big part of that. And displaying those reviews across your profiles is another big part of that. So you want to make sure those reviews are add real time to your website, and you want to make sure you're posting those reviews out on social media as well. You want to avoid negative reviews. So there's ways to help with that via text campaigns or email campaigns and all of those things. And getting in front of those negative reviews, you want to make sure you're responding to them. But if you're so don't be afraid to ask for reviews on the potential of a negative review. Just outweigh the negative reviews with much more positive reviews and getting in front of those people, okay? You want to be making sure you're doing helpful content. So tips on how to install metal roofing, or common roofing mistakes that you see, or the average repair costs. So all of these blog posts or case studies or press releases and service pages, location pages, FAQs, all of these things are important to show Google that you are an expert in your field, and that you actually know how to do what you're advertising, you're saying you're doing, right? And so you build up this authority for your company. You do this by content generation, right? And so we are a big component about case studies. So you take a before and after of roofs, or you did a roof replacement or hail damage, those sorts of things. You turn them into case studies and you talk about where that job was at, and it helps to spread your authority about not only the service, but actually that you did work in an area. And then you back that up with a review. It kind of creates this triangle of trust in Google's eyes, right? And so you can back that up again with videos. So having videos about the specific types of services you have, having those on your website, and doing before and after case studies about those videos, about those jobs that you've done in the past, are really important. Another great thing that many people miss is doing a testimonial for just taking your iPhone here or your Android, and after you complete a job for a homeowner, ask them if they wouldn't mind doing a video for you. And you can ask them basically, why did you call us? And have them give an answer. And then the second question is something about, how were we able to help you with your roofing project? And then the third question you would say is, would you recommend us? Would you recommend our roofing company to someone else in the area, right? And then you turn those videos into brandable assets online that you can also use on YouTube, but also on Facebook as testimonials. Okay, so those are great aspects of improving branding, along with social media, doing weekly posts, promoting your brand, promoting your services, your reviews, your case studies. All these are important elements to help you have a successful brand in your local market, and expand from there. Okay. Now that we've talked about visibility and branding, now we need to talk about the conversion elements. The systems and things that you need in place from a sales perspective in order to get you a better ROI. Okay, and so there's some important elements that I want to share with you from that perspective. You want to, on your website, you want to make sure you make it easy for people to contact you. You clearly want to have your phone number visible, but you also want to have a form on your website that people can fill out. And we use something called form to call technology, where when somebody fills out this form, it actually will dial your number, your office number, and repeat back to you what they filled out, and you can press 1 to connect with them. So within 10 to 15, 20 seconds, you can actually be on the phone with them after they filled out that form. It works very, very well. It helps with a lot of conversions. Okay, you want to make sure you're providing website chat as well. So we have the ability to implement live chat if you want to monitor that via our mobile app. But if there's many other solutions out there as well. But when somebody fills out the live chat, you want to also be able to have either somebody respond or have an AI bot respond to that for you. And so we highly recommend you implement those strategies for your company. You want to make sure you have a roofing CRM, and that within that CRM, you have ways to record those messages so your team can coach and your team can learn and get better for them. You want to make sure you have real-time follow-up. So say somebody calls your office, it automatically sends back a text back to them saying, thanks for calling us. Let us know if we missed anything. About 35 to 40% of those times that text gets sent to them, people will respond saying, no, you handled everything, or here's some pictures of damage, or pictures of my roof, or those sort of things. About 35 to 40% of those actually get responded to in either a positive manner or actual photos being sent over. So having a CRM that collects all this data from not only Facebook and Google and SEO and all those elements allows you to make sure that you are getting a really good return on investment there. Our strategy is we use the CRM, and it can connect into multiple other platforms out of there that if you already have one in place. We use this as a way to show what is your internet marketing doing, but you don't need one of those big fancy softwares out there if you use something like this here. So if you put that in place, you can have a sales pipeline and do all of those things to manage the jobs that do actually come in, and make sure your team is following up with the roofing estimates that you're giving, or whether something is scheduled via calendar or whatnot. So those are important elements to make sure you put in place. So as I said before, I did a quick introduction, some common issues, our 3-step process of how we do things from a visibility, branding, and conversions element, and what is working in 2024. Now let's really talk about some of those goals, right? That you want to make sure is in place for your company, And so I always say that you want to have a goal, you want to plan, and then put that plan into action, right? And so, Tony Robbins has a great quote here: setting goals is the first step in turning the invisible into the visible, right? And it's a great quote that I always use, not only for our clients, but also for our internal company. So setting those goals is about making sure you're writing those down. You have a 1-year goal, a quarterly goal, and monthly goal. And no matter what time of year you're in, you can always start this goal for right now, right? And so make sure you review these goals on a regular basis, and give yourself a reward for meeting those goals and consequences of not meeting those goals. I think a lot of times we set goals and then we forget them, or they get posted up on a board and nobody sees them, and you don't review them. Review them with your team, your sales team, and your wider team, so that everybody knows what the goals are and knows what the plan is to get to those goals. So let's talk a little bit more about your goals in 2024. What are your goals? What's your average revenue target for this year? And for 2025, you need to be thinking about that, right? And what sort of revenue do you need to get on a monthly basis to get that yearly target, right? And what's the average transaction value for a roof replacement, roof repair, and those sorts of things? And how many of those jobs do you need on a monthly basis? You can't just say, hey, I want to have a $2 million roofing company this year, and then not reverse engineer things down to what you need to be doing on a weekly, monthly, quarterly level. And if you do that, you're going to have much more success when you go through this process, right? And so, for example, here's what that breakdown would look like if you had these sort of numbers. Like, this is just a low on the lower end of average sales value for a roofing side, but you can bump that up depending on your area. So let's say you want to have a $1.5 million revenue target, right? What does that work out on a monthly basis, average sales volume basis, and how many jobs are required to do that, right? And so if you work through those numbers, you're going to have a much better understanding how to communicate with your team, and how to let them know that these are the targets that we need to hit this month, and if we don't hit them, what are the consequences? What are the rewards if we do hit them and exceed them? Okay. So I do have the ability on our website here that we can you can download this planner here, where you can put your goal in there. You can see what your average monthly revenue is. So if you go to restorationmarketing.com, you can take a look at that calculator there. Your average ticket value, you can put it in there. What's your conversion rate of those jobs? And then it'll tell you on average, what kind of budget you would need to do that, right? From a marketing standpoint. So for your projects in 2024, um, here's another quote here: "A goal without a plan is just a wish," right? And so it's very true. It's very, very true. So we talk about free traffic projects. So let's just quickly go through these. These are things that you can look at, and just a recap of all the things that we talked about. Make sure your website is set up to convert for phone calls. Make sure it works on the mobile side. Speak to your target audience. Are you going after homeowners and businesses? You going after homeowners only? Address their fears and concerns. They want to know that you're a trustworthy company, right? And so what I mean by that is you want to make sure you show reviews on your website so that they feel like you can solve their issue. Have trust symbols on there. Are you certified in something? Or do you have better Business Bureau rating? All of those things are important to make sure you address any fears and concerns. You want to be authentic with images of your team, of your trucks, so they know what to expect when they're going to actually, when you show up to their home. You want to include video elements on there. You want to have videos for each service. You want to have a video explaining what happens when somebody contacts you and why you're different. You want to showcase your reviews and your Facebook reviews on your website. And you want to make sure that your Google Maps profile is completely filled out. What I mean by that is services and products and all of those business descriptions and all those things are important to fill out. Are you posting on Google Maps? Are you posting on social media? All of these are free projects, free traffic projects. And I say free traffic projects, obviously there's a cost to do all of these things effective, right? Not only from your team or if you hire somebody to do that, but you don't have to pay Google for these elements in order to drive traffic. You're just building the authority of your company and making it easy for somebody to contact you in those specific arenas. So as I said before here, what I'd love for you to do is pull out a piece of paper and write down 3 traffic projects that you're going to focus on for 2024 and 2025. And so go ahead and do that. And then finally, you can pause the video here. Who on your team or who externally are you going to meet with that's going to help you accomplish these 3 objectives, right? And so you can go ahead and look back here at some of those objectives here, and on your piece of paper, what 3 components are you going to take a look at for your company, okay? And so go ahead and pause the video and do that. On the paid traffic projects, are you running Google Local Services? Is it set up and active? Are you running Google Ads? Are you running Bing Ads? Are you running Facebook brand awareness campaigns? Do you have a lead generation campaign in place? Those are all important projects that you want to look back on. And then, what projects do you want to take a look at for 2024? Are you going to be running brand awareness Facebook ads? Are you going to run lead generation Facebook ads for roofing? Are you going to do some pay-per-click? All of those are great traffic sources and great ability to increase your visibility online. And so I just want to make sure that when you do your paid ad traffic projects, you mark those down on that piece of paper, and then again, put who you're going to be working with either internally or externally to help you accomplish those goals. Okay. So the last thing I'll say is take action in 2024 and heading into 2025. Never put off tomorrow what you can do today. Quote from Thomas Jefferson. Love that quote. And it's very, very true. If you put it off for tomorrow, it's going to get pushed aside. You just have to make sure you have your priorities straight. And that's why I said to put 3 items on there instead of 10 items. We can always make a big list, but that list never usually gets done, right? So start with 3 things and then you can improve and move on from there, okay? This is our team in place. If you have some questions, my name is Sean McMeen again. I would be happy to have a call with you. We have an amazing team that provides an amazing service for roofing contractors all over the United States. And if you want to go to restorationmarketing.com/calendar, you can fill out a quick form there and get in contact with us to have a quick 15-minute review of what you're doing online. And we're always here for any questions or anything like that. As I said before, we're going to give you some free resources. So if you go to restorationmarketing.com/2024, you can find those resources there. And that will be a copy of the book, not only for restoration contractors, but for roofing contractors on how to generate more jobs. And then also some checklists about SEO and paid ads and keywords related to those as well. So again, if you want to schedule that call, you go to restorationmarketing.com/calendar, or you can give us a call at 314-582-5210 to schedule that call as well. So until next time, this is Sean McMeen. If you're really looking for ways to increase your roofing services in your area, roofing replacement, installations, siding, gutters, all of those sorts of things, these are some amazing tactics that work for a lot of our clients. And if you're not utilizing them now, definitely download the free resources so you can try to figure out how to implement that yourself. But if you would like to schedule a call with me to discuss what would that look like to work with you, go to restorationmarketing.com/calendar, and I'd love to chat with you. Until next time, this is Sean McMeen. Thank you.